Hey there, welcome to Real Talk Baseball. I'm your host, Ernie Orange, here with a special guest and our newest member of the Real Talk Baseball team, Jamal J. Dizzle, representing from the East Coast. Hey, thank you, Jamal, for tuning in to this new Wednesday special. We're thankful to have you on the show, man. We just continue to bring the most beautiful content in baseball, and man, we're excited to be here. But if you're a first-time listener, make sure to hit that like and subscribe. Make sure to join our baseball community and continue to learn about baseball, man. That's the whole point of this show. But we got a great show today. A small recap of everything that's gone down this weekday. We've had the benches clearing brawl between the Angels and Braves. Man, that was a great game. If you guys did not watch that, we got the Wilson Contreras versus the Brewers drama. We got the Connor Griffin prospect signing already. And then we have a World Series rematch, Game 8, Game 9, Game 10, anybody? I think so, right? And then we have some notable injuries to go through. So first and foremost, Jamal, how you doing out there, man? How's the East Coast treating you?
Doing well. I mean, to see your room with sunshine does my heart good. We just been hammered with snow again. It does not want to become spring here in Vermont.
Man, it looks like you have to come to the West Coast for this spring break. You need
Yes.
that, man. You need a little bit of that sunshine, that West Coast sun. But yeah, let's get started, man. We had a great game yesterday. For those who did not watch or probably already found out, we had one of the biggest brawls in a long time, and it was a Jorge Soler against Reynaldo Lopez. Two ex-former teammates who did play together for 6 months, both players facing their ex-teammates. It was an interesting one. Jorge Soler has had Reynaldo Lopez number for a minute, hitting his 5th home run yesterday against him. And then Reynaldo Lopez took this personal. Looked like he hit him in the second at-bat, went in high fastball inside, hit his wrist. Third time around, he goes for the head. Was Jorge Soler right on going after Reynaldo Lopez on this one?
No, anytime you're going after somebody, I mean, maybe if you're a Braves fan, you're saying, yeah, he was right for it because he's already hit a homer off him. But no, you don't ever want to see that
Definitely
work out that way.
No, you're totally right, man. It was definitely an interesting night. As an Angel fan, I was just like, what is going on? They were in the middle of showing a highlight reel. They were showing how there was a stolen base because the ball went behind the home plate. And then out of nowhere, we're just watching a fight. And I was like, wait, is this real? What did just happen? And, Jorge Soler, he's a scary guy, man. He's 6'4". We have the Atlanta Braves manager tackling his ex-player, making sure he does not harm any Braves players, man. What are your thoughts on Walt Weiss there, man? Laying it down for his team.
Walt Weiss, man, give it up. I mean, this guy's going to be in the UFC, the next pay-per-view, I believe, here. Holy smokes. No, I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's got some Taekwondo background, too. So great to have that kind of guy in your corner there. That was quite the takedown.
Yeah, man. Was it really a fair fight, though? I mean, you got Reynaldo Lopez avoiding all these haymakers on the defense. He's just backing up, using a baseball and a baseball glove to defend himself and using it as a weapon. What if interesting take. I mean, this guy was trying to defend himself. You got a 6'4", 6'5" guy coming towards you at a speed.
Full speed.
Haymakers. Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure he did such a great job defending himself. But the aftermath now is that Reynaldo Lopez and Jorge Soler are both suspended 7 games. Now, they both appealed their suspensions. Now, Reynaldo Lopez has been brought down to 5 games. So it looks like he would only be missing 1 start. And now the question is, does Jorge Soler deserve more games, or was this right? Was this the right call on the suspension?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the 7 games was too much for this, but in some ways, I mean, but, I guess in Ronaldo's case, I mean, I feel like in some sense, maybe he should have gotten the same amount because he kind of pretty much instigated this with the way he was pitching. So I don't know if I'm feeling the reduced suspension for him as, as opposed to like with Soler. I think there should have been even for both of them. Whether it be 5 games or not.
You're so right. I mean, with Jorge Soler being a position player, it's just hard to imagine how he's going to be missing up to 7 games for the Angels. He's a key force in that middle of that lineup, batting cleanup. And now the Angels are going to definitely miss him. With Mike Trout, he needs some protection in the bottom of that lineup. and he's a key piece for the Angels' success this year. So I feel like Jorge Soler and the Angels are being impacted the most by this suspension. Yes, Jorge Soler is the one that started the fight, but at the same time, you have a pitcher that's aiming for his head just because of the simple fact that he can't get him out. If you can't get him out, then walk him. I mean, I don't see why. And at this point, just throw him 4 low balls and, don't even bother. Or even intentional walk the guy. There's no harm in that.
Yeah.
The shame about that. Why start a fight? And it's just kind of a weird situation for me because as an Angels fan, I mean, I've seen the amount of players being traded from the Angels and Braves. I feel like we have a great relationship. It's the two teams that have gotten along really well in the past, and they made a lot of transactions for one another. And seeing these guys go at it at one another, it was just kind of weird.
Yeah.
At least expect the rivalry. We don't have a rivalry with this team whatsoever. And it feels like Jorge Soler just took it personal. And I mean, Reynaldo Lopez must have said some things in Spanish that he took it the wrong way. And you have Jorge Soler coming at full speed, man. But it was an impressive day yesterday. I think the Angels have just been the talk about this 2026 MLB season. I feel like every week we're on this show, we're talking something new about the Angels. If it's not the Joe Adele, the Mike Trout, now the Jorge Soler, what's going to be next for this Angels team, man? I don't know what to tell you, but I just could say that this Angels team has been one of the most exciting ones as of late. Even though they may not make the playoffs, as long as they play 500 ball, I'll be happy. And as long as they're making some mess out there, I'm all for it.
Yeah, and I think the seeds of this fight were kind of getting started with, I don't know if we saw, I forget which inning it was, but I don't know if you saw Trout got pitched inside again at one of his at-bats. It was like,
on Friday.
Here we go. Yeah. Well, no, and in the game last night, there was I forget which inning or which at bat it was, but it was before the fight, and he got pitched a little inside. Kept his composure, but I was like, oh boy, here we go again. Another inside pitch in a matter of 3-4 days. So he's still, Mike Trout still having to fend this off as well. So it's interesting.
Now the question is, are my Angels complaining a little too much for being pitched inside? Is that just normal in the game, or you think the Angels are just being, targeted a little bit?
I think I can understand where Mike Trout's coming from too. It's like, obviously, with his injury history, he's frustrated, he doesn't want to miss any more time, especially with a hit by pitch, right? So I can definitely see where the protection would be for him. It's like, and his guys sticking up for him.
Definitely, man. Well, I just want to thank everybody in the comment section. Thank you for commenting. Ernesto, Cotton Candy Skies, Melanie, thank you so much for tuning in. We truly appreciate it. And just make sure to continue to log in every Wednesday and Sunday night to continue listening to our baseball show. But yeah, man, it was a crazy game, and I'm just happy with the Angels. Nothing worse happened. None of these players got hurt, so that's the best thing that could have happened. Both guys solved it at the end. Jorge Soler came out today, looked like he was composed. Yeah, and nothing else crazy happened, so that's a good thing. Now, talking about another player, another dramatic week as well. We had the Willson Contreras, who just joined the Red Sox this year, who was previously with the Chicago Cubs. And his younger brother, William Contreras, plays catcher for the Brewers. Now, Willson Contreras took it personal this week. He got hit again by pitch by Brandon Woodruff. And it becomes the 6th time Brandon Woodruff has hit the guy. And the 24th time that the Brewers has gone for him and hit him by pitch. Is Willson Contreras right for getting upset at this?
Well, it's interesting when you look at the replay. It looked like the pitch hardly grazes it.
Right.
So, I think is there a little overreaction there? Yeah, I think so. But then again, given the history, previously 5 times has been hit by Woodruff, and then you're saying like 24 times by this Brewers team, he's got something in his mind there, going for the target. Now, I also don't condone what he did when he slid in and hit Hamilton with his cleat there. I think that was a little out of line too. But it's a little slight overreaction there for Contreras, I would say, given the replay.
Yeah, Willson Contreras took it a little bit personal, and it felt like the Red Sox players didn't really defend the guy as much. We were expecting him to be protected by his teammates, but I feel like they still don't have that relationship that he would want with his players. But man, Wilson Contreras took it really personal, came after post game, came out saying the next time this happens, I'm going to go after them. They should watch their head. And, these were some fighting words. Unfortunately, we did not get to see any fights. Looks like the Red Sox, Alex Cora, made sure that he had his composure going on for the rest of the series. But it's a weird one, man. I just saw Wilson Contreras like really heated, and it was kind of a shocker to me. And I mean, I see why he's upset, but at the same time, he needs to know how to control his emotions. The simple fact that his brother plays for the other team, I don't think there's no harm in that sense. I don't think your brother would want to hurt you in the middle of a game like that,
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's interesting. Last week we were on this show, right, talking about who's going to be that clubhouse leader for the struggling Red Sox team. And kind of crazy enough, after this happened,
yes,
the Red Sox have won 2 in a row here. So, I'm not saying I condone what he did, but maybe Wilson Contreras is that guy to get the Red Sox team fired up and start winning some ball games here. This may have kickstarted something for Alex Cora's club.
I totally agree with you there, man, because after this incident, you're right. The Red Sox go ahead and finish the series 2 out of 3 games. They win the series. And, I mean, the way the Red Sox were performing, you just thought they were going to get swept. And this incident definitely boosted their team. And you got Jacob Mazeroski coming the following day, striking out Wilson Contreras, throwing the F-bomb to him. And Wilson Contreras looking at him like, boy, if you don't stop, I'm going to come get you next time. And sure enough, the next at-bat, Wilson Contreras gets a base hit on him. So, I mean, I don't know. The Brewers were just kind of poking at it, trying to see how much Wilson Contreras would go out of his way to get, start something. But looks like Alex Cora had him under control. But it was definitely another interesting incident. It's been a wild week in baseball so far. I mean, just talking about the tension, and these guys are just being upset at one another right now. I feel like we're watching hockey these days, man. And I mean, baseball and fighting, that's a perfect combination, man. What else can we be asking from these players right now, right? I mean, I feel like a boxing match within a baseball game, 2-for-1 pay-per-view matchup. Let's go.
Yeah, it's funny. You were talking about hockey. There was a promo there from the Angels announcers. I don't know if you saw that, where they're donning Angels hockey jerseys, and they did a kind of a fighting joke. And it wasn't long after that the brawl happened. So maybe the Angels announcers are partly to blame for the brawl.
Yeah, they did take accountability. Wayne Randazzo and Mark Gubasol did say, like, I think it's our jerseys that started the fight. We gave these guys a reason why to fight. But, I mean, overall, imagine Wilson Contreras would have taken out, like, Jorge Soler. I would have been scared of Wilson Contreras. Just going to say that out there. He looks like a dangerous guy, somebody I do not want to mess with. Jorge Soler, another guy. He's 250, 6'5 plus. Don't mess with the guy. I'm shocked that Jonaheim did not try to stop him. Slow down that guy from rushing Lopez. But in the other situation, you got the Contreras brother watching over his brother. So, there's not going to happen. Nothing's going to happen. Had it been another team, though, it's a different story. Let's just be honest. But, yeah, let's go on to the next topic, man. We have one of the young, brightest prospects. And this is our Prospect Wednesday. We're going to have a segment every Wednesday night with Jamal breaking down the hottest, latest prospect coming into the league. Today, nothing special. I mean, he's special. What am I saying? He's the number 1 prospect in the league. His name is Connor Griffin. If you have not watched, the Pittsburgh Pirates prospect shortstop is looking amazing so far. But he got a 9-year, $140 million deal in his first week into the MLB. Are you surprised by this?
I am a little shocked at, how soon they've done this, but it seems to be the direction that the contracts are going with these younger players. We were kind of digging into that last week. I did think it was kind of funny. They interviewed Paul Skeens about it, and he had a comment where he said, "Oh yeah, he's going to be the face of the franchise." So kind of like, you don't want to dig too much into that. We're like, but there were a lot of people who were like, "Oh yeah, he's saying he's got." Coming out of there. It's going to be in pinstripes or something. So I thought that was kind of an interesting comment.
Yeah, I think Paul Skeens just said that given the fact that he's way younger than Skeens. I mean, not so much of a difference, but Connor Griffin's basically locked in until 2034. And if we all know the Pirates' history, they do not go for those major league contracts at $300 million plus. They don't have that payroll. And every time it comes to paying these guys, they just go ahead and trade them for another set of prospects and start over. And, that's just the Pirates' way. So it's actually pretty interesting that they decide to pay Connor Griffin an early contract, lock him up for 9 years. And, he still gets to be 28 by the time he hits free agency and gets to possibly get that major contract later in his timeline. But, man, Connor Griffin, so far, what I've seen, this kid is special. I mean, he has the speed. He has the defense. He has good IQ in the game, and his bat is electrifying. So this Pirates locked up one of the prime players that we have in this league going forward. And I think they're set for the future for me, if you ask me, in this infield, because Connor Griffin's going to be that guy.
Yeah, the Mike Trout comparisons, I mean, might be a little bit too soon, but, we'll see. He was 0 for his last 10 at bat, so maybe the nerves were getting to him until last night where he hit that RBI, that 2 RBI single, where it was a big shocking, well, not really shocking as Skeens is on the mound, but the 7-2 victory there over the Padres for the Pirates. He really got them out to the big lead there. I believe it was the 7th inning when he hit that. So that was kind of the nail in the coffin for the Padres, and you love to see it. And he had an RBI today in a game where he wasn't even starting. So hopefully he'll be back on the ball, and can't wait to see what he does. He's yet to hit his first homer.
Yeah.
So, hey.
I mean, just his first at bat, I was so impressed. He just went in there. The pressure wasn't big for him. He hits a double at the age of 19 right off his first at bat. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be some struggles. This is his first year. People should not be expecting a 300 hitter. They probably expect a 240, couple 10 home runs, and probably 60 RBIs. And that's already great for a 19-year-old, if you ask me. I mean, at this point of his career, they shouldn't be playing that well, with guys with this talented pitching. The reality is that he's going to struggle a little bit, and then eventually he's going to get just fine and become an all-star like he's supposed to be. We got Ernesto saying, hopefully someone gives him a chance to play in the World Series, because it's baseball terrorism when players of his caliber never get the opportunity to perform in the biggest stage. He's referring to Mike Trout, man. And we know as an Angel fan, man, I've been waiting to see Mike Trout on the biggest stage, and unfortunately, 1 for 14 in the playoffs is not going to cut it for me. And as much as he's going to be a Hall of Famer, but he's going to go down as one of the greats that also didn't get that opportunity. We have other players like Ken Griffey, Ernie Banks, Robert, guys that just never make the playoffs, man. It happens. That's how hard the game is.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, let's go on to the next topic. We had the World Series rematch this week. My fiance over the week, it was Monday. She said, I cannot watch this game. This game is already giving me PTSD. She said, it's too soon, game 8. I just can't do this right now. She says, way too early to be stressing out. And I'm like, it's just a regular season game. No need to panic. But we had the Dodgers facing the Blue Jays in Toronto, and it just felt like the fans came out to support Toronto. They were really supportive, man. I was really impressed. But this Toronto Blue Jays right now just seems a bit banged up offensively. They just can't get it going right now. I know the injuries just keep piling up on them. Are you concerned for this Blue Jays team going forward? Because, I mean, with the amount of injuries, I just don't see how they could keep up against the Yankees going forward.
Yeah, I mean, well, first I got to ask, did your fiance say this before or after the 14-2 demolishing by the Dodgers?
No, she said this way before. Yeah, right when the game was starting.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, Carlos was on here saying, a couple weeks back, it's a marathon, not sprint. There's going to be some injuries piling up. I thought the Blue Jays looked excellent today and really did an awesome job clawing their way back from a 3-1 deficit. Where they had a lot of guys not named Vlad Guerrero step up and make some big plays for them. Davis Schneider being one of them. He had a run scored there after a base hit. And I think and Andres Jimenez has been a pretty solid bat in their lineup so far. So I think the Blue Jays are going to be okay. Obviously with the Dodgers, you're facing a juggernaut either way, but the way that they showed out today, I was pretty impressed with what they were able to show the Blue Jays.
Yeah, that's amazing, because the Blue Jays definitely needed that after the past 2 games. It just feels like the Dodgers right now are super locked in. Everything's working their way. Even the bottom of the lineup hitting right now. They beat you in any type of way, and it feels like once Shohei comes around, it's like, man, it's over. So good luck. So if your team doesn't show up against the Dodgers, they have stand no chance. But you're right. This Blue Jays team has to show more than besides Vladdy Guerrero. We need the other role players to finally step up. You mentioned the Davis Snyders, the Andre Jimenez. In there, because the amount of injuries continue to pile up. You have Addison Barger already hitting the IL, Alejandro Kirk getting thumb surgery, Anthony Santander. I don't know when he's coming back, but it seems like he's not healthy at all. And then you lost, Savage, Kate Ponce. The pieces continue to add up, and I'm just really concerned going forward for me personally, just because I feel like they're going to become really dependent on Vladdy Guerrero. And unfortunately, he needs that protection in the middle of the lineup. And George Springer just feels like he shows up when he wants to show up sometimes. In the playoffs, he was locked in, but right now he's off to a slow start again. So I don't know what to expect from this Blue Jay team. I'm always concerned for these teams that finish second place in the World Series that don't finish with winning it, because then they just come back the following season really banged up. And I've seen it time and time again, and that's where I'm really concerned with them. And then I see those Yankees on the other side, and I'm just like, whoa, calm down. They're starting the season 8-2 so far, and everything's working in their favor right now. So it's still too early. It's 10 games into the season. No need to panic, people. This is just things that we're watching and already picking up as we start the season, right? But man, this Blue Jays Yankees, the Blue Jays Dodgers. We had a scenario though. John Schneider on Tuesday gets kicked out of the game because he was complaining to the umpires that it was not a balk. Was that a balk to you?
Oh, I don't. I mean, I didn't think so, but yeah, I don't know. It was. I don't know. What do you think? I didn't really think it was.
I don't think so either. But I saw I don't know, man. I try to slow it down, but I really didn't see it either. So I see John Schneider trying to maybe like start something from his team, trying to spark that offense by him going complaining and getting kicked out. It didn't work out yesterday, but it did change the outcome today. So I give props to John Schneider for always being protective of his team and going up there to defend them. He's never willing to back down for his team. So that's good to see. But
they did.
Sorry, go ahead. Come on.
Sorry about that. Yeah. And then we were talking about some of the injuries. Like it looked like Trey Savage is on a rehab assignment. So they could be getting him back here pretty shortly. So that'll be a very awesome piece that they can add to their pitching rotation.
Awesome. That's always great news to hear. We got Ernesto in the show. Thank you for tuning in. He says Dodger fans are siding with Josh Schneider and saying that call was BS. Yeah, that's pretty interesting to see Dodger fans defending the other team's manager. I think they just feel bad for the Blue Jays, after they took them out in the World Series and they're declaring themselves as the champs, for sure. Now let's go on to our last topic of the show today. I know it's going to be a quick one today. It's just a midweek special. Just want to make sure we talk about all the hottest topics that happened these past couple days. But let's talk about the most notable injuries so far. We've had some big injuries in the league. We had Zach Eflin going for a UCL tear, already getting Tommy John, if I'm not mistaken. And then we have Cade Horton out for the year already. Another big loss for those teams. Christian Javier today looks like he has shoulder discomfort. Hunter Brown going out as well with the shoulder injury. The name of pitchers and players just continue to pile up already. And I'm like, man, it's 2 weeks into the season. And some teams just can't seem to catch a break. Which player do you think is going to affect the most for their team?
Well, Javier, obviously with Hunter Brown going down, that's like their ace there. And Javier going down, that definitely adds a huge blow to the Astros.
I think so too.
They were just getting him back into the fold here too, it seemed like. And I mean, he was struggling to begin the season, so obviously something it seemed like was probably bothering him before this trip today, but where he was just getting shelled by the Rockies. So yeah, there's reason to be a little concerned if you're an Astros fan right now with that rotation.
Yeah, you're totally right. I mean, losing Christian Javier this week, the first inning he got totally rocked by that Rockies lineup, and it seemed like something was off. And sure enough, the following inning he just comes out and the first pitch into his coming to the inning, he's just like, nope, this is not working out for me. And he gets taken out. And like you said, Hunter Brown and Christian Javier, it's a big, big loss for them. Two key pieces into their rotation. Now you have to depend on Mike Burrows and Tetsuya Imai. I just don't think that's enough.
A lot of pressure. Yeah. A lot of pressure in the first year.
Yeah, and then you got Josh Hader right now already starting the season in the IL. Really, the bullpen's kind of been shaky with Brian Abreu there. So, I don't know, man. It's way too early. Let's see. Hopefully, these injuries are not too severe for this Astros team. And hopefully, they could be back by May and hopefully change the outcome of the season for them. But the Astros are definitely a team to worry. But one of the notable injuries for me is actually the Cubs' Cade Horton.
Yes.
I just feel like he's supposed to an ace type level pitcher for that Cubs rotation. He has some nasty stuff already going into the season. And after 2 starts, he was like looking really locked in. And then just Friday comes around and he steps out of the game, says some forearm discomfort. And sure enough, once you hear the forearm or the elbow, we already know that's not looking good. So he will be missing out the whole year as well. It's just something that you don't hope for these players, man. We're hoping for the best for them. And we continue to see this happen time and again. The UCL injury continues to hurt these pitchers, man, because we want the best for these guys, right? We want to see these teams compete with the highest level of pitchers. And again, Cade Horton, Zach Eflin as well. Big name pitchers like that, veterans that we need to see in this game. And unfortunately, they're impacted by the UCL injury. The Angels, for example, have Robert Stevenson, got signed for a 3-year, $33 million deal, Jamal, has only pitched 10 innings. He's on his way to get his second UCL surgery this week. I mean, the amount of injuries for these arms is just really concerning. I mean, the people have tried to pinpoint the reasons why this is happening, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's just an injury that we hope that doesn't happen to these guys, but it's just inevitable these days. It feels like it's bound to happen to these young pitchers.
Yeah, and everybody wants to find the answer, right? So we can keep these arms alive, and it's just hard to pinpoint one particular thing. And, you just feel for Cade Horton, like you saw that, like when he knew he was coming out of the game, it's like, oh, you knew this wasn't going to be a 10-day IL stint. Like he knew something was going to affect his season. And you just hate to see it for somebody that just has so much promise.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about a Cubs team that's already dealing with a big amount of injuries. Right now, Matthew Boyd, their pitcher, is also out in the IL with some shoulder discomfort. They've been expecting Justin Steele for a while, their lefty arm as well. He's been gone with Tommy John as well. He's expected to come back sometime May or June, but that takes time for them to be back to their old ways. So I'm starting to feel worried for this Cubs team. Edward Cabrera was definitely a nice pickup, but other than that, I don't know if I could trust Shota Managa, Jameson Tylone, and Colin Rea. I just don't think that's enough. Javier Assad looked great yesterday.
Assad, that's it. He looks pretty solid, and you're going to need those guys to kind of stretch innings, but very difficult.
They're very thin in their rotation now, and when you're facing a tough Brewers team, and especially how gritty they are, they just find ways to get in the base and score runs. It's a scary team you do not want to face in that Central. And then you got a new up-and-coming team in this NL Central that nobody's been talking about, the Cincinnati Reds, who are 8-3 right now, playing great ball. It seems like everything's going their way with Terry Francona under the helm, and it's a team everyone must be watching for right now.
Yeah, and it looked like they went down to the Marlins today, but Sal Stewart, man, this guy has been raking as of late. For them, the prospect that he came onto the scene late in September last year, and he has just been absolutely a monster to begin the season. Hit a home run today. Obviously, where we stand with Ellie. Ellie's going to be a beast.
Yes.
And then I liked what we're seeing out of Rhett Lauder. If he can stay healthy, he had a pretty solid start his last go around. So he could be another piece in their rotation. Again, health is going to be the question mark, but like what I'm seeing from them so far.
Yeah, I am too, and especially without Hunter Green in the rotation right now and how they're still being able to compete in these big games so far, that's crucial. And I know it's way too early still, but I give them really big props. Anything else, Jamal? Anything else you got for us today? Anything you want to throw out? Any other injury? Any young player we should be watching out for, or anything you would like to add to end the show? Any last mentions?
Yeah, just a quick last mention on our guy there, Mr. James Tibbs for the Dodgers. James Tibbs, the third, that is. This guy, there's a short here on YouTube. Check it out. But Saturday, he just went nuts with 3 home runs. He's batting .514 right now in his last 8 games with a 1.286 OPS. And Dave Roberts is like, they're aware of this kid. So obviously the Dodgers got a loaded lineup as it is, but they are watching, so keep an eye out and see what things look like
Nice.
for Tibbs' future.
What are the Red Sox doing trading this kid for a 2-month rental of Dustin May? That's another topic for another day, but I just want to say James Tibbs looks very promising and looks like he could be in the big leagues any moment now, especially with the Dodgers coming back-to-back World Series. They just trying to get as much step into the season to not overwork their players. So expect them in the big leagues any moment, possibly this year, and he's going to be doing some great things for this team, and it makes you wonder what the Red Sox were thinking. Giants, too, probably upset at the Red Sox for trading him away, and, but this is what happens in the game, right?
Oh, yeah. You'll get that.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. This was our special for Wednesday. Thank you guys for stopping by. We'll see you this upcoming Sunday and talk more ball. Make sure to stop by and talk some ball with us. Join our baseball community. Join us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Just continue the chat there, too. We really like that from you guys, and we continue to grow this channel. We're like 6 subscribers away from 1,500. If you guys could feel free to share it with your friends and family to continue to support our channel, we would gladly appreciate that. Well, everyone here from Real Talk Baseball, me and Jamal, we peace out. See you guys next time.